Hey, welcome back, guys. This is Tyler with Orion's Tactical. Thanks for watching. Some of you guys may have recognized this rifle from a previous video. This is a Romanian Wasr 1063. It's one of the older models. It's not one of the old models that's, everybody complains about with the cannon sights and all that. Actually, the date's here on the side. 1983 GP Wasr 1063. Really nice rifle. Wanted to bring you guys a review on it. I'll start by saying my mag is loaded, but the rifle is not. Do a little safety check there for you. So this rifle is going to be a lot different from what you probably see in your gun store. It's got a upgraded buttstock, pistol grip, and a quad rail. This is a Mako 6-position buttstock, and it's actually got, I don't know if you can see it, but there's a little spring in it, which is supposed to help fight against the recoil. And honestly, I don't know if I like that or not. It doesn't seem like it works too good. It's just a little bouncy, honestly, so I'll probably end up replacing this. This buttstock does have a compartment in the back. It's waterproof, so you won't have to worry about whatever's going in there getting wet. You can put a cleaning kit, fire starter, batteries, med supplies, anything you want to keep in there, you can. There's plenty of room. And I think there's actually 2 spots here that are designated for like a AAA battery. So that's a cool option. This thing was right at $100, I think. The pistol grip here, it's actually got a compartment in the bottom too. It is a Mako as well. And the pistol grip that comes on your standard Wasr 10 rifle is really skinny. You don't have a whole lot to hold on to. I mean, it'll work if that's all you had. So it'll certainly work, but I wanted something with a little more meat to it. And this has actually got some nice texture to it as well. It's kind of a rough texture on the back, almost like a Gen 4 Glock. And then around the front, it's kind of stippled, and then it's got a finger groove. And it's also a lot fatter. So you got a lot more control over it, especially with one hand. I think that was right at $30. And then moving up here to your quad rail, this is I think it's a UTG. Yeah, it's UTG, made in USA. You got Picatinny rail with the T marks on top, bottom, both sides. And when the rails are not in use, there's these little rubber rail protectors that you can pop on and off. I will say that those will get hot. If you do a lot of rapid fire, you do have a risk on melting these. So if you're going to do a lot of rapid fire, I would suggest taking these off. But it's really nice, stays put, don't have any wobble to it. But yeah, I'll go ahead and show you what the standard furniture would be for a Wasr 10. Normally you would see furniture like this. This has been refinished, stained it in polyurethane to make it look a little better. But this is what comes standard on your Wasr 10s that you'll find at most of your gun stores. But you can replace it, or you can keep the traditional look and keep the wood, which I have nothing against. I think they're beautiful with the wood finish on it. I just wanted something a little more modern. That's that. These rifles get a lot of crap, the Wasr 10s, mostly for magazine wobble, cannon front sights, and sticky bolts. I'll go ahead and remove the mag and show you guys. If you let go of it, I can't get this bolt to stick. But there is a spot, and it's on every AK. When you're bolt carrier comes back, it has to push your hammer back down. So you get back to about right there, and you're going to feel a little bit of resistance. It doesn't stick, but you'll feel a little resistance. That's all that is the bolt carrier traveling over the hammer. So if you feel a little bit of resistance there, don't worry about that. How about had it stick? But anyway, just go in there. If you're looking to buy one of these, just pull it back all the way, let go of it, and if it goes forward, don't worry about it. The more you fire it, it's going to run that, and it's going to get smoother and smoother as you go. So I would not worry about that. If you move it slow, of course, you're going to get more resistance. But if you rack it like you're supposed to, rack it like you mean it, that thing is going to travel forward every single time. So don't worry about that. Magazine wobble is going to vary from magazine to magazine. This one here is a Magpul PMag. It's just standard 30 round magazine, and it's got barely a little bit of wobble to it, and it's probably got more wobble than the rest of the magazines I have. But a little bit is no big deal. A little bit of wobble, that's nothing to worry about. As long as your magazine isn't going to fall out, or it's not going to cause any kind of feeding malfunctions, you're good to go. Don't worry about it. I've got a couple other Tapco polymer mags similar to this, and they fit really snug. They don't have any wobble at all. And then when you buy one of these rifles, you'll get 2 standard surplus magazines. It's going to be the steel magazines that you'll see. Those are good mags as well. They're indestructible, and they run really good. I've had no problems out of this thing. I've had this rifle for probably about 8 years. I've never had it malfunction one time. So it's been a good one. And a lot of other complaints were about a canted front sight. So you got a front sight post here, and what you need to do is just look down your rifle and make sure that that front sight post is lined up. Make sure that your gas tube all the way back, make sure it's all good and lined up as much as possible. If there is a little bit of tilt to it, don't worry about that either. As long as you get a good zero, you'll have no problems at all. Mine's actually, the post is pushed a little out towards the right, but it holds zero just fine. It's just barely sticking out. There's a little plug here that you push side to side, and that's for your windage. And then the post itself, you either twist down or up, and that's for your elevation. So you can get these things to zero. They're going to run just fine. I don't know what all the gripe about Wasr 10s is, but I have nothing bad to say about this one. The fit and finish might not be as good as, say, like a top-notch high-end rifle, Arsenal, Rifle Dynamics, any of those, but it's not bad. One of the things you want to look for is the rivets. Make sure they're pressed good. You don't want to have any cracks around them. You don't want them to have like a big dimple around. So check your rivets. Make sure they're all pressed good, which they are on this. Your safety, sometimes you might have a safety that's really hard to manipulate, but that is a very simple fix. All you need to do is take it and just bend it up a little bit. I know it sounds kind of crazy, but just take it and bend it up. It's not going to affect the safety at all, but it will make it a little easier to manipulate, because when you've got a firing grip on the rifle, you can't just come up and flip it down. You have to kind of get your middle finger and flip it down and back up. So it just makes it a little easier to manipulate. They do make an aftermarket safety. It's a Krebs, and it's got a ledge just like this, but it's got it further back so you can manipulate it with your finger. It makes it a lot easier. I'm going to pick one of those up. They are fairly expensive, but I do plan to get one of those for myself. I think the Krebs actually has a bolt hold open too, so you can bring your bolt back and put the safety up, and it'll hold your bolt from going forward. So they're really cool safeties. you can do endless amounts of things with these. They're really old rifles, old iconic design, but you can make them into a pretty modern rifle. Let's see, the barrel on these, it's a hammer forged chrome lined barrel. This one does have the bayonet lug. It does have a threaded barrel. Some of the older Wasr 10s were during the gun ban era, so they may have did away with the bayonet lug and the threaded barrel. But this one does have it, so that's a plus. This one also has the bracket for scope mount. I did have a reflex type red dot sight on the front here, but it was really far away from my eye, and I don't have the best vision. So I'm going to get a scope mount, probably in Midwest Industries, and it'll come up, wrap around the top, and you can put a scope right here. Another thing to note with these 6-position adjustable stocks, your standard butt stock that you're going to get on just a regular Wasr 10 is going to be about that long, so it's about even with what I have here, and it's really short. I mean, you could most certainly use it effectively, but it is nice to have all that extra, especially for a bigger guy. So you have a lot more adjustment. I usually keep mine about right there, so just barely a little longer than this would be. Also, you can get these. That's just a vertical foregrip, and you can mount that right here on the front, and you can use that to grip on. This also, it's a Tapco foregrip. It has a plug in the bottom. It is waterproof, so you can put whatever you want down inside there. You can see it fit my whole middle finger up in it, so there's plenty of room in there. There is rubber O-rings. All this on the outside of the plug will actually keep it really tight and waterproof. I don't use it anymore. I did it first, and I found that it was just really getting in my way more than anything. So I'm running mine pretty slick right now. Let's see. When you buy one of these Wasr 10s, you will get a bayonet. If yours has the bayonet lug, it's pretty rough looking. It's got a leather strap on it, so you could put it in your hand like that. The sheath, it's got a leather sheath with a belt loop on it, so you could put it on your belt. And it's got, I think that's metal, I'm really not sure. It looks really rough. The bayonet itself is dull as crap. It's like a butter knife. But you could sharpen that up and it would be a useful tool. You never know. But to put this on, there's a hole here that slides down over your barrel. Then you got a button on the other side. So what you want to do is just slide it down over your barrel and then line the back end of the bayonet up with the lug. And there's that little button I was telling you about. You have to push that button in and it'll drop and lock right into place. So then you would have your bayonet on the front, close quarters. You could get up close and dirty with it if you needed to. And then to take that off, all you got to do is press that button in again and push it right up. So comes with the bayonet, comes with 2 of the standard metal mags, the surplus mags. And I think that's about all you get with them. Mine didn't come with a cleaning rod, but it does have a spot for the cleaning rod. And also, the barrel is threaded. I'll see if I can get this loose for you. You'll have to hold that pin down until you kind of get it twisted off a little bit. But it's just got a standard slanted muzzle brake. I'm sure you've seen the slanted muzzle brakes on most of the Wasr 10s. And there's your threaded barrel. Not sure what size threads they are, but you can put a different compensator, whatever you want on the end. And then you just screw it right back down on there. And again, once you get towards the bottom where the pin is, you'll have to push the pin down, screw this on the rest of the way, and it'll lock right back into place. It's got the standard sights on it. You can adjust them up and down. I think it's up to 1,000 meters maybe. I honestly don't know. I don't use them. I keep mine right there at the back. And I guess the only thing left to do is to show you guys how to disassemble it. So pretty much you got a little button here on the back that you push in. Push in on that button, your dust cover will pop right off. It sounds kind of cheap and thin, but these are actually really, really strong. Then what you got your spring here. You need to push in on it and it'll pop up out of place. So just push in and it pops right out. It's kind of like a two-piece deal. It's all together by the spring, but there's two metal pieces inside. Just set that aside. Make sure your safety's down when you try to bring your bolt out. Then you can bring your bolt straight back and it'll pop up. That's your bolt carrier, your piston, your charging handle. It's all made right in. And your bolt, you just spin it and your bolt will come out. That's a good part to keep clean. You want to keep your bolt clean, especially the bolt face. And this is just one solid piece. That's your bolt carrier, and it's piston driven. But yeah, guys, it's just as simple as that. Simple rifle. It's a very old design, but simple. Then you could go in, clean everything out. There's the top of your hammer. That's what I was telling you. The bottom of your bolt carrier will go back and come in contact with that hammer, and that's what causes it to kind of hang up. But as long as it moves freely when you pull it back and let it go, and it goes all the way home, you got nothing to worry about. Put it back together, just get your piston, stick it up in the hole for where your gas tube is, this top barrel here. Your piston goes up in there. Then there's two notches on the side here that your bolt carrier is going to drop down into. Once it drops in, just slide it straight all the way forward. Get your recoil spring, slide it in the hole on the back of your bolt carrier, put a little tension on it, drop it right back down in its notch here. Grab your dust cover. This is what a lot of people seem to have trouble with, is putting these back on. But here's a little trick for you. Take the front, just worry about the front, and there's a little ledge right there you'll see that it fits on. So just make sure you got that all the way forward, then take your back and just push it straight down. You might have to twist it a little bit side to side, but as long as you keep that front, keep pressure on the front, push it down, your button will pop right out. Easy as that. So like I said, I'm not sure how many rounds I've shot through this. I'd say close to at least a couple thousand. And the more you shoot, the smoother that action is going to be. Also, like I said, if your safety seems to be a little thick, like when you have a firing grip, you can't operate that safety. You can just pull back on it a little bit to relieve some of the tension on it. It's not going to hurt the safety mechanism, any of that, and it'll make it a lot easier to operate. Because when you got one hand on it, you can't just reach up there and flick it down. You kind of got to break your firing grip, use that middle finger, which is what I do, and pop it down and back up. They do make a Krebs safety. It's got a little ledge, but it's further back so that you can manipulate it with your finger. I'm planning on getting one of those, and I actually think it has a bolt hold open, little notch cut out in it, so you can bring your bolt back, push your safety up, and it'll hold your bolt open for you. The Krebs safety lever is rather expensive, but I do plan to get one day. as far as the fit and finish, some people say there's a lot of sharp edges on these, and honestly, I don't find that to be true. I guess if you really had a lot of force, the safety could cut you a little bit. But a lot of people complain about the mag well. Mine's not sharp at all. It's got the Tapco trigger in it. Really nice trigger. I'm not sure how many pounds it is. I'll go ahead and give you a little demonstration on it. Nice short reset. Other people will complain about trigger slap, and what trigger slap is when you break that trigger. I'll do it this way so you guys can see. When you break your trigger, it'll reset. There's a spring that'll cause it to push forward. If you don't know how to manipulate a trigger, you can get trigger slap, which is caused by breaking a shot and then just taking your finger off. And when the trigger resets, it can come up and slap your finger. But the proper way to manipulate a trigger, a lot of you Glock shooters will know this. When you break your shot, you hold your trigger back to the rear. Then the action will cycle, firing around, loading a new casing in. Then you reset your trigger, take your next shot, just like that. So that's the whole deal with the trigger slap. But other than that, guys, this is a really good rifle. I'd recommend the Wasr 10 to anybody, especially somebody that's never owned an AK before and they're trying to get into it. Pick one of these things up. They're a blast to shoot. Really fun rifles to shoot, simple to operate. If you don't want to spend the money on one of those real high-end AKs and you just want to try it out, get you a Wasr, man. These things are nice. I have nothing bad to say about this gun at all. It's one of my favorites. And yeah, guys, that's it. That's the Romanian Wasr 1063. It's one of the newer ones. It's not the newest ones that they just made. Seems like they have a real light colored finish on them, and the actual finish on the barrel and stuff itself is a little different. But yeah, guys, that's it. I think that's pretty much going to wrap up this video. I think I've covered everything, but as always, if you guys have any questions, feel free to leave them down in the comment section. I always like hearing from you guys. If you like the video, hit that like button. Really helps out the channel a lot. We just hit 100 subscribers the other day. That is awesome. Thank you guys. I love each and every one of you. And yeah, it's going to wrap it up for this video. So this is Tyler with the Ryan's Tactical, and I will catch you guys on the next video.